Rise to the Challenge News Network. Afternoon Team with Shelby Brown, Krista Allen, Lucas King, and Caleb Klein.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Rise to the Challenge News Network. I'm Krista Allen.
And I'm Lucas King. Today we're featuring stories from the teen conference taking place on the campus of Washington State University.
It sure is hot here in Eastern Washington.
Climate change is on everybody's mind. The teen conference is no exception.
Here's Shelby Brown with the story.
I'm Shelby Brown reporting for Rise to the Challenge News Network. Here's a story that affects all of us.
A group of scientists from all around the world have kind of really come to a conclusion that climate change is real and humans are indeed part of the causing of climate change. So it's something that I think finally is starting to register for people, that they're realizing that it is real and that we are part of it and that it's going to have impacts in our lives and our children's lives.
Just like kind of a big thing, and I think there's a lot that people could do and they just like don't really know what it is, and I think they might do it if people just said we should do this. I don't know.
How was that for a hot story? This was Shelby Brown reporting for Rise to the Challenge News Network.
Haley Hendrickson has something to say about the weather. Haley?
I hope you all had a great time at the 2018 conference. We were so blessed to have facilities and an awesome hall. I think the extreme weather conditions got to us all, and having no air conditioning in the rooms didn't help. I actually rolled off my bed and hit my head on the desk, which was very unpleasant, but I'm fine. Despite that, I believe we all rose to the challenge and stepped out of our comfort zone. This is Haley Hendrickson from the Rise to the Challenge News Network.
Thanks, Haley. Hey, Lucas, how's the weather in the kitchen?
I bet it's hot there, Krista, but for once it's the guys in the kitchen. Here's Caleb Klein and Krista Allen with the story.
I'm Krista Allen with Rise to the Challenge News Network. So, what all's going on? Why are you dressed like a chef?
I'm Chef Man. But we're making like dinners and stuff. I'm over there making desserts.
This workshop is called A Man's Place is in the Kitchen. Do you think that's true?
Yeah. Anybody could cook.
So what do you think this is going to help you for the future?
Probably teach me like to cook for my wife, like on Mother's Day. If I get married and stuff, I'll be able to cook for my wife.
My name is Caleb Klein, and I'm reporting for the Rise to the Challenge News Network. I'm currently here in the A Man's Place is in the Kitchen workshop. We are here with one of the delegates. What's your name, sir?
Riley Barnes.
And what are you guys doing here today?
We're making bruschetta. My group is.
Bruschetta. Can you explain what that is for those who don't know?
It is a garnish of tomatoes, onions, basil, and peppers on top of a slice of tomato with mozzarella cheese on top of toasted bread.
So, do you think this has an impact to your life, what you're learning here today in a workshop?
I think so. I think it'll be helpful. I'm going to WSU next year, and it'll be helpful to be able to cook things here at the dorms. And
what are some high points you've had so far?
Well, we cut the cheese. That was pretty interesting. We're using fresh mozzarella, which is a little better than the more dry mozzarella stuff.
This is Caleb Klein, and I'm reporting for the Rise to the Challenge News Network.
Bruschetta.
Tasty story. Next up, an amazing race to burn off all those calories.
Here's Caleb Klein with the story.
My name is Caleb Klein, and I am reporting for the Rise to the Challenge News Network. Today I'm here with one of the people who is running what they have called the 4-H Amazing Race, or a Great Race. Can you tell us what you're doing here today, and what's your name, by the way?
My name is Gabriella Secris, and I'm a CTR from King County. And what we're doing is we're making a 4-H version of the Amazing Race on television. And so we base it on head, heart, hands, and health. And they have to do a challenge directed towards head, heart, hands, and health. And then we're going to take them to a fun place afterwards. So.
Very interesting. How many teams do you have participating today?
We have 5.
5 team. It's quite a few kids. You said that they have challenges relating to you. Can you give an example of one of those challenges that they'll be doing today?
Yeah, the first one that they just have been completing right now, they've been writing letters to kids whose parents have been deployed to Iraq. So.
Very neat. And I understand from the Amazing Race that they have certain questions, those things, so they have to answer in order to find out where they're going next. Are you guys doing that as well? And can you explain how you're doing that process?
They actually have clues. We've written clues out, and they have to figure out where they're going. And once they figured out if we need to help them, we'll help them. And then we've got maps so they can follow the route. To get their passports, they had to not answer a question, though. They had to answer the 4-H competition motto. So.
Very neat. Well, thank you for your time, Gabriela. And this is Caleb Klein, and I've been reporting for the Rise to the Challenge News Network.
Thank you, Caleb. And now a word from our sponsor.
.4-H Club? What's that? Like, well, every Wednesday we come here and skate at this one warehouse and fairgrounds.
I think that people think of 4-H as like a horse group because a lot of people go to that kind of 4-H, and they're like, that's a horse club, isn't it? I'm like, no, it's actually a skateboarding club. They have it over at the fairgrounds.
It's really hard to learn, but if you just keep trying and trying, then you'll get it eventually.
If I wasn't here skating, I'd probably be at home watching TV or something.
Now here's Shelby Brown with a commentary on life in the dorms. Shelby?
These past few days may have been extremely hot, and there may have been enough walking to make your legs fall off. But I believe that the beds in the first floor girls' dormitory of the street hall were where things started to turn rock hard. Enter the hall, face room 138, and turn left. Make your way down the hall and stop at room 131, where Haley Williams and I roomed together. The dorm was relatively nice as I stepped in, but with my petite 5'2" frame, I found myself horrified at the height of the dorm beds. I didn't even try to get onto my bigger-than-life bed until 11:15, when we were to lay down our bodies on our sweet, soft beds. But to my surprise, when I lay down on this high bed that came up to my neck, I was sad to say that the bedrock of the Pacific was stiff under my back. The rooms were great and the food was spectacular, but when it came to the beds, I was sore and was ailed with a monstrous crick in my neck. I'm a sweet girl, but those beds were anything but.
And that's it for this edition of Rise to the Challenge News.
Stay tuned for next year's edition, and in the meantime, check for local 4-H news on YouTube. I'm Krista Allen.
And I'm Lucas King.
Bye everybody.